Yes.
So Isabel, how do you get your referral based on your coaching?
I'm sorry, that cut off a little bit.
How do you get your referrals? Referrals for clients.
How do I get referrals? By getting good results. Actually, I found initially when I first started coaching, your results speak for themselves. So the minute that someone has a good result, they want to share it with the world. And I would say each client that I have, at least 3 or 4 new clients will come as a result of a referral. Even when I coach the highest people in organizations, a president, a vice president, CEO, what I find, even then there is human disconnection because they're very lonely in those roles. They can't have people to be their soundboards or advisors. And what they find is that this is such a powerful discipline and it can create so many meaningful transformations. They will then refer me to other people in the industry, their families, their kids. It's unbelievable how this happens. Everybody needs help somehow, and they just need to be put forward in front of the right person that they can trust, can facilitate that for them. And so it's actually one of the most common ways in which to attract clients, referrals.
So if you are no good, you don't stand a chance.
Not as much, I suppose. I always say there are so many good coaches out there, great ones, not many. Because a lot of us, we get too caught up with our busy lives and we're just not continuously learning and really giving our all for the other person. To be a great coach requires a level of presence and belief in the other person's ability to go beyond where they think is possible. I love this definition of coaching. A coach tells you what you don't want to hear, shows you what you don't want to see, so you can become the person you never thought you could be. So it takes guts to sit in front of someone and hold a mirror and help them see the absolute, not worst, because there's no judgment here. We're all dealing with our own issues. I always say, there's nothing you can say or do that I haven't done myself. So, you know, go for it.
I don't believe that.
But for sure. But it takes a lot to hold the space for someone to just unravel and let go 100% in such a safe space that they can just pick what it is that they want to keep, what do they need to let go of, what is it that they just need to completely release. And this can be very daunting, traumatizing, scary things. People can become super emotional. There's a lot going on in those sessions because we're talking about the purest, rawest, most authentic kind of connection there is among humans.
We have a question from the chat room.
Mm-hmm.
It says, how did you build what you have built? What steps did you take?
How long have we got? I'll try and do a fast tracking way. The most important thing for a coach, I think, is to understand their business proposition, which is who do they want to work with, the target market, what are the kind of problems that they want to tackle, the biggest pain points, and what are the kind of solutions that I want to offer. Because when you craft that, how you show up and what you put into the world is going to be so much easier to achieve. Without having done that and then gone into the marketplace and say, hey, this is what I feel that I want to work with, and do a little bit of market research. Do you think this is aligned? Would you pay money for this? I remember in Brunei with Dato Ong and so many people, I interviewed them and I said, hey, these are the kind of things that I've got experience in. This is how I think I really can help people through my coaching. And I got such valuable feedback. That formed the basis of my business proposition and my business case. And then through that, I built a business model that allowed me, for me being location free was critical, and time free too. I've got 2 little kids and my husband lives in a different country too. So I needed to have complete ownership and flexibility to build a business according to my needs. And that's what I did. Based on that, I then created different business models. So one-on-one, I would do coaching one-on-one. Once I became confident doing that, I moved into groups because that requires a different level, more experience to deal with human behavior and dynamics. And through groups, I found I just loved it. So from workshops to seminars, to two-day trainings, to retreats, whatever works for you. And then finally, I started building products, books, articles. I'm preparing online programs now, running online challenges. All of these different things are available to you. You just have to do it in a way that is you. Never compare yourself to anybody else and what they're doing out there, because I think if you start the comparing game, you'll never be able to express who you're meant to be fully. So just constantly be in touch with who you are and how you're meant to show up. And it should feel scary, but not enough that it stops you on your tracks altogether. And then plan ahead and just build it up. I hope that gives a sense of direction.
But you have clients the world over.
Yes.
How do you reach out to all these people? How do they discover you without you having left your own city?
Number one, I mean, we got it so easy now. When people tell me they were going through one of the toughest times in history, I just go, oh my gosh, it's quite the opposite. Because what our grandparents or generations before had to deal with was so much worse than we have. I mean, within context, we live in a world of opportunity and global outreach. We've got the internet, we've got tools that we can all use from home to create clients globally. So what I did is visibility. You have to develop a brand and you have to be known as a credible source and an authority in a specific field. And that was my key to message. Peak performance and leadership is what I am passionate about, very experienced about. And that's what I keep working on. So I love creating content and resources about the topic, which I put out online, which I send to publications online globally, which I would sometimes connect with different companies and give them a free workshop or run a webinar through chambers of commerce that connect me with different clients all over the world. The opportunities are endless. It is so easy to establish yourself in a place where what you have to offer is needed. You just have to know where to look. A lot of the times we're lacking the clarity, or we're just too uncertain as to what it is that we want to do and who with. But when you do the work and that becomes clear, it's so easy to find the channels to help you get there.
So don't be a generalist, be a specialist.
Yes, and that comes from a general manager. I fought with the idea of thinking that I could help the world for years. And I really fought with the idea of becoming really specialized in a field. But what that gave me was I was not competing. I was just drowning in a world of competing voices. It wasn't until I really looked at the essence of who I am, what I'm all about, my value system, my beliefs, and what I'm all about, that I started putting myself out there in a way that I felt only I could, through the combination of my own individual personal stories, my transformation, how I look at life, the kind of results that I seek to achieve. I am ambitious, I am forward-driven, I am a doer, I'm always in action. Not everybody is like that. And not every client is going to want to engage with that kind of personality. I'm like the coach on steroids, I always say. There is room for me for the right type of people that need that kind of energy and full commitment. So find you, do you, be the US you that you can be, develop that brand, and then build that tribe.
Let's dive into the business side of things a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So you touch about the different things that you do as a coach. As what I'd like to know is how do coaches make a living?
Mm-hmm.
The money, where is the money coming from?
Money comes from, it depends. There are coaches that are 100% pure coaches and all they do is coaching. In many instances, they will do one-on-one coaching and that's it. I started doing that, but then I felt it took too much time. It requires a lot of presence and energy to create transformation in other people too. So I think the maximum that I did in Brunei was 20 people in 1 week. That was a lot of time and energy. So I wanted to be able to scale my business and come up with different revenue streams and different ways of not always have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of people were going through the same struggles, and I felt there has to be a better way to just facilitate transformation for bigger groups all at once. So I moved into groups. Now groups, they might pay a little bit less, but you get bigger numbers. And then the magic that happens when humans are connecting is undescribable. So that became a really healthy income revenue stream for me. And then from there, what we see in big organizations and big companies as well, again, one-on-one coaching might only be required for the top people in the organization. And what they need is for teams to work collaboratively together. So team coaching became a real thing and is one of the biggest trends now in the marketplace. So again, I upskilled myself to be able to facilitate in teams. I do group coaching, team coaching. I've been a mentor all my life at work. I just help people through my own experience. So I incorporated that as well, which a lot of companies don't have time to build a pipeline and grow their future leaders with the new thinking and the new leadership strategies that are required. So that's when I come in and I do either consulting, I do mentoring, where I see the most long lasting effects is in coaching, because that's what actually changes the brain, but it does take a little bit longer to get those results. So if people are really invested into long-term strategy and results rather than short-term gain, coaching is the discipline to go for. And then I will run workshops. I will do online work or physical work. I will go to companies and they will give me a context. Initially, I would create and customize a lot of the content. Nowadays, I just have my portfolio of courses that I run, and it's already there, it's already created. They pick what their needs are and I just go and deliver it.
Can you give us your website, please, so that people can go and access to your...
Yes, it's www.isabelvalle, ISABELVALLE.com.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, one aspect of business model for coaches as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
You build your way up, and not everyone would have that kind of confidence or experience, to build out their own individual brand as a coaching entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a friend who is a young coach as well, but he works for a coaching company that does all the branding, all the customers, client solicitation for him, and then he just show up and teach.
Yeah. Again, you do you. I think I'm the rebel and the person that I am, because I've always had this driving voice inside myself telling me, don't let nobody tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was really important to find a coaching school that allowed me to build my own business model, create my own tools, my own strategies, even though I'm studying a lot of different disciplines to help me be the best that I can be for my clients. At the same time, I am constantly creating my own things. I'm a creator at heart. And so you can definitely do that, especially in the beginning. There are so many great coaches out there that you can go and buy what they do, and then you put it in place. And some people have found it very successful. You can go for global coaching companies, and for a fee or a commission fee, they will get the clients and you can coach them in their behalf. The only organization that I do that currently with is the UN, because again, of the big heart factor. So that's something that I'm actively working with as a company. Otherwise, it is challenging, but to me, once you learn it once and you put it out into the world, that's what sets you apart from trying to grind and always fight your way through the next few months to setting up a success pipeline that enables you to live comfortably.